asked me if I would do transition pictures for Ivana Trump, the former wife of Donald Trump, obviously, who died this week at the age of 73, just before Trump and his children were due to give depositions in New York to Tish James. Nothing suspicious at all about that. But as you know, because I say it many, many times, I don't do transition pictures for people who've just died because their loved ones are still mourning them, and I think it's very, very unfair. What I can do is a crossover. Now, the difference between a transition and a crossover is that with a transition, I am fully in there. I'm emotionally engaged and I follow the whole thing through from beginning to end, feeling what the person feels. Whereas with a crossover, I simply observe the moment of death and what happens to them when they land. Ivana Trump was pretty rich in her own right, actually. She divorced Trump in 1992 amid much brouhaha. She got $14 million out of it and a bunch of properties. Her motto at the time was, "Don't get mad, get everything," which made him incredibly angry. But after that, she became an entrepreneur and she started marketing jewelry and clothes and all sorts of different things. So she was very successful and rich by her own hand. And I thought that maybe the crossover would be fairly easy for that reason. She fell down a flight of stairs and that was it. But it wasn't like that. When I went into the energy, she was swooping, kind of doing little turns like that in the air, swirling and swirling downwards. So she may have felt that, yes, her days were coming to an end and that she was just going to enjoy them to the fullest. There seemed to be so much dynamism there. Even if she was ill, maybe, there was so much dynamism in the twirling around as she flew. Then all of a sudden she plunges into this symbolic pictorial hole. And from then on it gets incredibly difficult. It's rather like going underground in a forest and trying to wade through the soil and the tree roots and everything else that's in there. She fell but kept hitting tree roots. It was like bang, ow, ah, down and down, ow, ow. And in the end, she wound up in the symbolic cave I always see, but hanging by her jacket collar. She was wearing some kind of fancy jacket or something from a tree root or branch and couldn't get down. In fact, I went away and thought, oh, she's not going to move. And I came back later and she was still there. And the problem was that she wouldn't, even though she needed to, she wouldn't slip out of her jacket. It was almost like, wow, you know how much I paid for this jacket? I'm not getting out of it. No. Where I go, it goes. She was really attached to the jacket she was wearing. But in the end, she realized that she had to let it go. She had to slide out of it and leap to the ground. So there was a tremendous attachment, I would guess, to material things. They really seemed to matter to her. And what these transition pictures in general have taught me is that all the things we experience in life, everything from illness to success to relationships and so on, all these things are in our life so that we can learn to release our attachment to them. And she couldn't release her attachment to this fancy jacket. And it was only when she felt the pull of the current that happens in this process and realized that she had to let go that she was able to release her attachment to the material world.